We are live. So excited to be here with our client, Allie. She's been doing amazing inside of our Elite Nurse to Coach Academy. So, really excited to have you here, Allie.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're really excited to hear more about you and your journey. So, we'd love to hear about your background and what type of coaching you're doing.
Yeah. Sorry, I think my screen is freezing. Um, but yes, no, I actually started out in child life and was a child life specialist for several years, and then was going through my own health struggles in that time, and was having MRIs, EEGs, heart monitors, all these different things, and doctors were just kind of telling me everything was normal, and this was just going to be my baseline. This is just how life was going to go, and that started affecting my day-to-day work. And so I actually enrolled in my first coaching program from there because I was like, there's something that needs to shift and I'm not finding it in just traditional healthcare. And that's when I really discovered how to identify my triggers, regulate my nervous system, and just keep a full life having without compromising my health. And so, honestly, after learning a lot of those and implementing some more holistic practices into my life, I was able to eliminate all my symptoms. And I have been symptom free for 9 years. And so that experience just really fueled this fire in me. I just loved the science behind just the body and how it's working, and that I had just learned so much that I hadn't been taught before. And so I actually enrolled in a nursing program and got my RN license and became a nurse for several years, and then ended up going back and becoming a board certified nurse coach because I was still finding this gap in traditional healthcare where we are so good at treating symptoms, but we're missing the root cause so often, and we're missing so much of their story. And so I really want to learn how to have those conversations a little bit more powerfully in my work. And then also I just had this dream of having my own business, of being a coach that could give others that space to really just dive into their stories and their lives, help them feel seen and understood and fully known, and just feel good in their bodies and know that that's possible, and just create this vitality in the midst of the full lives that they were living. So that's kind of when I started building.
I love it. Yeah, you've had such an incredible transformation. And I love that you are just sharing your knowledge with others and helping them on their journeys too. It's incredible the work
Yeah.
that you are doing. I love that so much. So, when we first started working together, where were you at and where did you want to go with your business?
Yeah. So when we first started working together, I was in full blown new motherhood. I had a 9-month old at the time, and I was trying to build this business. I was trying to figure out all the legal pieces and all the just nuances that go into building a business. And I was completely overwhelmed. And I just kind of kept putting it away over to the side. I was like, okay, maybe this isn't the season to do this in. I just need to wait. But then I kept taking it back out because I was like, no, I have this vision, I have this goal. Like, I can make this happen because I had everything. I had the plan. I knew what I wanted to do. And I knew the other women needed this too. And I didn't want to wait. And so I just kept trying to make it happen the best I knew how. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'd love to hear what you've accomplished so far during your time in the academy.
Yeah. I think the biggest things that I've accomplished is just really that clarity and direction and confidence, and having access to the right people and the right resources so that I could stop spinning my wheels and actually knew, okay, this is what I need to do. This is the next right step that I need to take. And so, since I've kind of had access to all of that, I've been able to create a program that I'm proud of and is truly valuable for the women that I get to coach. And then I've also gained the accountability and the processes that just get me out of my own way and just keep it sustainable and moving, because I can get trapped in my head so often. And this just kind of helps me keep moving and just get out
Yeah,
of the way.
I love that so much. Yeah, so much clarity, confidence, all the resources, and getting out of your own way. That is phenomenal. I love that. And what would you say
Yeah.
are some of the specific results you've experienced with like building your program and your business?
Yeah, I have been able to coach some women just through really challenging parts of their life. I think the most common thing that I hear from them um, is that they're doing all the right things, they're seeing all the right providers, and that's helpful for them, but they're still missing this piece in their day-to-day life. They're still feeling held back, and I think because so often what we're finding is the nervous system piece. And so really being able to articulate to them and really be able to show them, like, yes, everything you're doing is right, but let's get back to your core and to the roots so that all those things you're doing can actually make a difference in your life. And so just being able to know how to develop this business and create it and actually have a place for people to go has been my biggest accomplishment, because now I'm like, okay, like to you want this kind of support, so I have this for you. And now we can do the work because now this exists. And so yeah, so I would say that's my biggest.
I love that so much. Yeah, you've been able to put it together. You've created a phenomenal program. And I'm just so proud of you for your progress and all the incredible work that you are doing.
Yes.
Yeah, we'd love to hear about what has been your favorite part of the academy so far.
Yeah, my favorite part is definitely the people. I feel like there are just so many incredible women in this program. Just like seeing their tenacity and their sense of purpose. It just reminds me that this is possible, that the dream is not out of reach. And um, it's been interesting. The more I'm just kind of surrounded, the more excited and just confident I get in what I'm building. And to the point where I've actually had people come up to me and say, "Hi, I'm your ideal client." And like, it's just like all of a sudden they just, even if they don't know me, like there's this sense of trust. And I know that that wouldn't have been fully possible if I wasn't surrounding myself with just other women in this program who are just going after it, and they are just filled with so much heart and so much mission. And so it just reaffirms to me that the mission that I have is just absolutely needs to be shared. So, and I've also loved how intentional you have been with just really providing the personalized resources and support that will really help us make our specific business what we want it to be.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, so many amazing women in our community really become like our best friends, our family, and it is so encouraging to see others,
Mhm.
go for their dreams and with such powerful missions, and just being surrounded by that is everything. And we become those
Yeah.
people who you're surrounded by. So I love that it's lifting you up and just moving you along. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
What would you say to
Yeah.
someone who is thinking about joining the academy, but they don't know if they should?
Oh, yeah. I would honestly probably just say do it. If you're in this place where you're trying to build something and you know that there's all these different steps that you need to take, it's really hard to do that on your own. And you probably could do it on your own, but it's going to take so much longer and you're going to be so much more drained and exhausted. And it may be harder to keep that sustainable. But with the academy, you're, you're guided in, okay, what is the right next step. You're not looking at a extremely long to-do list of like, I need to do this and this, and feeling overwhelmed by it. You're taking it step by step and you know where you need to go next. And it just kind of helps take the overwhelm and the exhaustion out of it. And then yeah, and it's so much more supportive that way. And I feel like I can enjoy the life that I'm living now, and I don't have to feel like I'm being bogged down by just all of the administrative stuff and planning that goes into having your own business. But I can actually feel more at peace and be more present with my family during that while still building that momentum.
Oh, I love that so much. Yeah, really step by step guidance, bite-sized pieces so you're not feeling overwhelmed. That's incredible. And we'd love to hear how you feel now compared to before we started working together.
I feel more confident, more clear, more just this sense of purpose. articulate the outcome of what women can achieve through my program, who are ready to do the work. And I feel like before starting the program, I wasn't really able to articulate that. I knew what I had hoped, but putting it into words, I was like, it kind of just depends. But now I can really articulate, this is what you can accomplish if you're willing to do the work. And then also, as silly as it sounds, I also feel like a real entrepreneur. Like I'm actually doing the thing. Like this is a real business that is genuinely and deeply serving people. And I'm building it the right way, not just what I can guess the way, but
Yeah.
I'm building it the right way. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Building it the right way. Absolutely. And we'd love to hear more about your coaching services and program. What specifically is the outcome that you provide for your clients?
Yeah, so I feel like so in both of my background with child life and nursing, I've worked with a lot of women who are incredible advocates. They are leaders. They deeply care about the people that they are serving. They're constantly taking initiative. They are carrying those attributes both like in their work field, but then also in their own personal lives. But they're often the last people on their own lists, and they haven't been taught that they're allowed to exhale. So they just keep on pushing, they keep on going. And so the women that I do work with tend to be those high performing women who might be ambitious, they're looked up to, they're the mentor, often leaders, they're the most reliable person in the room. And their bodies have gotten so used to pushing through, and they're never fully returning to rest. And so we might be dealing with burnout from that, or chronic stress, or hormone irregularities, or sleep issues. They might be going through life transitions, or anxiety, digestive issues. They're just kind of facing this season where they're like, okay, now my body's starting to work against me. And so, what this program does is it helps them learn how to return to rest in the midst of a full life, not necessarily slowing down or cutting things out, but how can I listen to my body, communicate to my body that, okay, we were able to be driven all day long. We are able to do these different things. But in the midst of all of that, how can I also have these little moments where my body is able to recover? Because that's what allows things to be sustainable. So I get to do that through helping them reconnect with themselves, learning how to regulate their nervous system, and then carry those systems beyond the 12 weeks of coaching that we're together. So.
Amazing, beautiful work, and so needed. What do you love most about coaching?
Yeah. The I love the reach that I can have when it's online, because I'm not just I don't just have to coach in my own community, even though that's typically where I tend to be, because that's where my people know me. But I can also share this with people all over. So I love that. And I love the realness of it, that people can come and they don't have to be performing. They can just come in the space that they're in, and just in that moment that they're coming to me, and they don't have to be anyone but themselves. They can be their most authentic. And that's kind of where the most powerful work goes. And um, I love that it also gets to allow me to stay home with my son too. So I love that I can be a mom first, but then I knew that I would need that outlet that allows me to serve people and really just help elevate them. And because that's what I loved when I was in the healthcare field, when I was full-time nursing. And I was like, I still need that in my life. So I love that it provides that flexibility.
Yeah, that's also what I love so much about coaching is the flexibility to be a mom first,
Yeah.
to be with our families, but then also really serve in such a big way, being able to help others in even
Hmm.
a bigger way than we could at the bedside, and also being able to reach so many more people than we could as a nurse. So that's awesome. And what is your vision for
Yeah.
the future? Where do you see yourself going from here?
Yeah, right now I primarily focus on one-on-one coaching, because I just love that truly just deep personalized support. But I also really believe in the power of community. And so I do want this business to expand to providing just like small cohort coaching as well, so that people can really just build that community amongst each other. And so that is probably the next step that I'll take this business is having that group coaching, but one-on-one coaching will still be an option for people if that's what they feel like will be most supportive. But I'm excited to move towards the community coaching in the future.
Yes, I love it. And where can people reach out to you? How can they get in touch with you?
They can follow me on either Facebook or Instagram under Allie Amison. I also have a free community called Regulated and Resilient, which is on Facebook, and it just allows people to get some access to resources, some of that community engagement that I love so much, and just a chance to connect with other women who might be in similar seasons to them. And then they can also reach out to me in my DMs. And then I also have an email, which is Allie at restoredarisecoaching.com.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on everything, Allie. I am so proud of you for your amazing progress, the work that you are doing. We absolutely love having you in our academy. You're just so encouraging, so positive. You implement, you do the work. And so, congratulations on everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all of your support and your help through all of this. I truly, yeah, I would not be where I am without this program,
Oh,
without this
you're so
academy.
welcome. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Allie. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care. See you later.